To another exciting video on our channel. Today we are going to dive deep into one of the most talked about horror reboot of recent time, the 2025 supernatural thriller Wolfman. There has been a massive amount of hype surrounding this project because it comes from Blumhouse Production, the absolute master of modern horror, and is directed by visionary filmmaker Lynn Vernon. Everyone was waiting to see if this creative team could capture lighting in a bottle twice, especially after their massive critical and commercial success with The Invisible Man back in 2020. The movie generated thousands of discussions across the social media with fans eager to know how a classic old school movie monster would be brought into the modern era. People were curious whether it could be a gory action film or a physiological nightmare with a terrifying concept. And the highly talented creative crew attached this film quickly became a trending topic globally upon its theatrical release, drawing huge attention from both hardcore horror lover and general moviegoer. Let us start with the basic details and background of this thrilling cinematic project. The film is officially titled Wolfman and is directed by Lane Wall Nell, who also co-wrote the screenplay along with Corbett Tongue. The movie is produced by the legendary horror producer Jason Blum under his world-famous production banner, Blumhouse Productions, along with Clock and Company, and it was distributed globally by Universal Pictures. Interestingly, the journey of this film was quite long and full of changes. Many years ago, Universal Pictures wanted to make this part of a massive, interconnected cinematic world called the Dark Universe. However, after their 2017 movie, The Mummy failed to meet expectations. Those plans were cancelled. Later, Hollywood superstar Ryan Gosling was actually set to star in a lead role with a director Derek Cianfrance, but due to scheduling issues and creative shift, they had to exit the project. Blumhouse then stepped in to keep the production moving forward with a focused, lower budget approach, keeping the total estimated budget at the modest $25 million. This smaller budget allowed the filmmaker to focus heavily on tension and practical effects rather than relying entirely on big screen digital explosion. Now let us talk about the star cast who carried this intense story on their shoulder. The main lead character of Black Lovell is played by highly acclaimed actor by Christopher Abbott, playing opposite him as the female lead in the incredibly talented Emmy-winning actress Julia Garner, who portrays Black wife Charlotte Lovell. The young and talented child actress Matilda Firth plays their daughter, Ginger Lovell, while the experienced actor Sam Jagger joined the supporting cast as Black hesitated for the greedy Lowell when it comes to the acting performances. The cast did an absolutely phenomenal job. Christopher Abbott gives a highly dedicated and emotional draining performance as a loving family man who undergoes a dark and terrifying internal change. His expressive eyes and body language perfectly capture the pain of a human being slowly losing his mind and language. Julia Garner provides a highly grounded performance, perfectly showing the sheer panic, strength, and survival instinct of a mother trying to protect her child from an unimaginable threat right inside their own home. The chemistry between the actors feels incredibly real, making the stakes feel much higher for the audience. Moving on the story, let us look at the plot without giving away any major spoiler. The narrative follows Black, a writer, who inherits a remote, isolated farmhouse in the deep countryside from his estranged father, hoping to take a peaceful family break and fix his relationship with his wife Charlotte and a daughter Ginger. They pack their bags and drive out into the wider night. However, their peaceful vacation turns into a horrific nightmare almost immediately upon their arrival. In the dead of night, as they are arriving at the property, their vehicle is brutally attacked by an unseen ferocious creature hiding in the dark wood. During the chaotic struggle to escape and barricade themselves inside the secure high-tech farmhouse, Black Cat, deeply scratched by the mysterious blast, as they find themselves completely trapped inside the house with a monster stalking them from the outside, and even bigger danger begins to brew on the inside. Black began to experience strange, painful symptoms as his body and mind slowly began to change, forcing Charlotte and Ginger to face a double threat. The beast waiting in the dark outside, and the husband and father turning into a monster inside. On the technical side, the movie stands out for its unique atmosphere and artistic choices. The cinematography by Stefan Duskio relies very heavily on darkness, using deeply underlit scenes and heavy shadow to create an intense feeling of claustrophobia and dread. While some viewers felt the lighting was a bit too dark at the time, it successfully makes the farmhouse feel like an inescapable prison. The editing by the Andy Kenny is a fast-paced during action beats, though some critics mention that certain fast-moving fight sequences could feel a bit choppy. A major highlight of the film is its reliance on practical makeup and prosthetics rather than cheap visual effects to showcase the physical transformation. Instead of standard overlay shaggy Hollywood werewolf design, the change is treated almost like a terrifying deteriorating disease, showing thick sulc lips, an altered jawline, and a completely distorted body shape. The sound design is exceptionally well done, amplifying the tiny noises like a sputtering generator, buzzing light bulb, and beep unsettling animal vapor to maximize the psychological tension. The music and the background score of the movie were composed by the highly talented music director Benjamin Wolfich. Instead of relying on a big melodic song, the musical approach here is entirely focused on a haunting atmospheric background score. While Fish uses deeply intense strange, distorted electronic noises and sudden, shocking silence to perfectly match the on-screen terror. The music acts like an extra character in the film, building up the suspense slowly during quiet moments before exploding into a chaotic wall of sound during the jump scares. The background music plays a massive role in keeping the viewer on the edge of their seats, ensuring that even the slower scenes will carry a heavy weight of dread. When we look at the public and critics' review, the film received quite a mixed response from audiences around the world on a major platform. Like the IMDb's and the Rotten Tomatoes. Both the viewer and professional critics were divided down the middle. Many praised the movie for its incredible sound design, the fantastic acting by Christopher Abbott, and brilliant use of practical body horror. However, in a large section of the audience felt that the story was a bit too small in scale and lacked the big wild werewolf action they were hoping to see. Some fans expressed disappointed on a social media that the movie spent too much time inside a single barn or house, making the plot feel a bit drawn out despite having a relatively short running time of 103 minutes. Looking at the box office performance, the film did decent business considering its small production cost. On its opening day, it managed to pull it in steady numbers as the curious horror fans rushed to the theater over its first weekend. The movie picked up more steam, eventually wrapping up its total global theatrical run with a worldwide box office collection of approximately $35.2 million. Because the production budget was kept low at $25 million, the movie managed to recover its cost, but due to the mixed wolf word of mouth and average